Okay, now I would like to show another game from this book, and let's see, because I'm using this new webcam or new cam compared to the one before that was a document reader, and the complaint I had was that the black pieces were too difficult to see with the other webcam, so I'm trying if this one is giving you that. Honestly, the colors for me are not correct because this is a nice honey. It's a color honey. I'm sorry, I see it yellow. I don't know what you see. But maybe, yes, the black pieces, you can see them better. So, let's see this game. Dirk Poulsen is white. Palatnik is black. It was played in Teesside 1974. E4, C5, knight F3, D6. So the idea, guys, is that I want to have a feedback and understand if you like it or not, because if you don't like it, I go back to the one I was using and I give back the webcam to Amazon. D4, C takes D4. I think sometimes our eyes and also the different people have different sensibility about colors, right? Knight takes D4, knight F6. But again, I try to improve the channel as much as I can. Unfortunately, I have limited means. Knight C3, and I'm not sponsored, paid, and so on by anybody. So what can I do? I mean, A6. I'm sure that once the channel is monetized and I have millions of dollars, I will I will get an editor, a thumbnail maker, and all these things that happen when you become rich, thanks to YouTube. Up to that moment, guys, we must endure this. However, if you bring your friends to watch the videos and so on, and they actually pay, yeah, I will improve the conditions. So that's a fact, no? Because I also care to give a good video production, but I honestly don't have the technical skills. So, for example, the previous camera had this U, that is HUE. And that U was really beautiful because I could change the color and make it a little warmer. Because to me it's a little too white. I would prefer a little more pink. But this one doesn't have that control. And I even downloaded the Logitech software. So, E6. Maybe it's because these cameras are cheap and I need to find very expensive cameras. Again, I don't know. I would like to spend the money on something that is worth, obviously. F4, Queen B6, Queen D2, and now, boom, very interesting move, right? Why it's an interesting move? Because we generally think when you get a pawn, that pawn is poison. And as you can see, immediately, white, like a fly trap, Venus fly trap, one of those plants that capture the flies, goes to close the way back. But this fly is trying to escape, Queen A3. After which there is Bishop takes F6. Now, I saw many beginners, and for beginners I think of people that are rated around 1000, that play this move, and their idea is, haha, look, now I destroyed your castle and I have a double up and this is isolated. Yes, everything is true, but at the same time you gave me an open file to attack your king. So yeah, everything true, but now black didn't even have to use a tempo or multiple tempi to send a pawn to break. He's already open and attacking. So And here, if you notice, now the black king has four bodyguards, and so it becomes a little difficult to take it down, that structure. So it's pretty safe in the center, honestly. That's what I feel, and maybe I'm wrong, okay? So you guys will tell me if you have success in attacking the king in that formation or not. Honestly, I feel safe there. White continue with bishop e2. And here it says, look, this is a line of a famous poison pawn variation. Yeah, immediately, it's always a poison pawn when someone tries to give you something. Did you notice the difference? When we were little, if someone gave you something, you would think, oh, thank you, oh, look, it's my lucky day. Today is something that is poison, so you shouldn't accept candies, nothing from anybody. Okay, poison pawn variation, black has an extra pawn, and the notorious two bishops, bishop pair. While white can smell the invigorating smoke of the attack. Yeah, let's see how he attacks. Knight c6, bishop h5. Okay, this is an interesting move. You know why? Because it pins this, which makes this weaker. Now there is only this to help this pawn. Bishop g7, f5, and wow, look at that, castle. So now this is not pin anymore. Castle and bishop d7. Otherwise, this is kind of a bad bishop, as you can see. It's just a pawn. It would be interesting to see what he does. Rook ad1. This is nothing other than, and here there is a mistake, than an attempt to put the brakes on the Sicilian freight train. Rook ac8, knight b1, queen b4, queen takes d6, queen takes d6, and rook takes d6. And then there is knight e5, because this is protected and attack, right? But look, knight e5 is beautiful for another reason. Finally, this bishop can see the light of the day, right? If your repertoire includes the song about two bishops in addition to the Sicilian defense, then you can consider this a successful show. Yeah, I honestly think now, yes. Black has a nice position. c3, defending this, but honestly, look also, all these pieces, these are kind of out of the game. This is not doing much, I don't know. E takes f5, e takes f5, and rook c7. Bishop e2, rook fc8, g4, yeah, because this needed to be defended, so I can use this rook somewhere else. Bishop c6, okay, this is interesting, because, you see, it put this here, it means that this will not stay here, it will probably go here, to remove the defender, so you can gobble up this pawn, right? So that's what makes sense. King f2, bishop f8. So he's transferring the bishops on lines that are more open, because also this bishop here, it was just a pawn, right? Instead, on here, it starts to become a power. So this is a very beautiful example of how to use the bishops. And here it says, it turns out that there is indeed a bishop on g7 and not just a large pawn. Rook d4. Obviously, if he plays this, so I hope you saw it, if you play this, there is knight d7 and the rook is kind of dead, right? So this was slightly better. b5, rook fd1, a5. So he cannot take here because bishop c5 and this is gone, right? Rook d8, b4, rook takes c8, rook takes c8. C takes b4, a takes b4, and now there is knight 1 goes to d2. Rook a8, changing the target. Rook a1, bishop d5, bishop d1, and bishop h6. It's nice to see the fluidity of this player, right? Black is that's why I like to watch Palatnik's game. You learn a lot, in my opinion, and is not a world champion, so we can learn from anybody, right? And that's why it's even more important, in my opinion. So he plays this. So because you see, this is also about piece activity. It's about also this, that if you are able to destroy this, one of these two, this is going down, this is unprotected, so there is a mess here, a lot of ideas. But as you can see, the Grandmaster activates continuously the pieces. So knight Xg4, bishop C2, rook E8, king D1, and knight E3, check. King C1, and guess what? Rook C8, boom. Knight D4, defending the here, and the other play knight Xc2, knight Xc2, and now I think the game is over, right? Here it says, it is not clear if the knights like to serve as a shield. The bishop, however, definitely love to spear the knights. Boom, right? And the game is over. So I hope that you enjoyed this game. Please let me know if you like it or not. And especially the colors. Because now, do you think you can see well the black pieces? Thank you very much.